I'm the Zoman.
I'm Mikey.
Jonathan.
Jersers.
Raz the Good.
We are the Wang and Balls podcast.
Dun dun.
Cheers.
Bear Bears.
You're sipping baby truly.
Yo,
Yo,
drinking paper burrs.
Oh, Lord.
This tastes kind of good.
That felt pretty good. Well,
Oh, you're chugging.
welcome back to another weekly edition of your favorite podcast with the hostesses. We're here to talk about the NBA scrimmages back in the NBA, obviously, and we're going to talk about some of our favorite things that we've seen. I want to start with my favorite moment was probably watching Bol, who's 7'2", playing small forward, and he had 16 points, 10 rebounds, 6 blocks. Mikey, what have you seen so far in the scrimmages that have caught your eye? I know there's only been a few.
Okay.
I mean, there's kind of a lot. I guess the whole getting used to like the whole layout with no crowd. Did you see all of those? The Denver Nuggets chants where they usually have a crowd saying it back, and then it was all quiet, and then now
Are they pumping? They're pumping
well,
crowd noise into there, right?
Now they are. I feel
They
like
are, right? That's so
like
weird.
cheering, yeah. But I mean, like free throws, like that. It's like so much easier for them to shoot free throws. But I mean, that's just one thing I noticed.
Unless you're Dwight Howard. I saw him today, missed. Sean, anything from the scrimmage, even if it's a quick thing?
Did you guys not finish your drinks?
Yeah, we did. We all talked it already.
You're drinking Baby Bear.
I like the
So cheers.
the shooter on the Heat, Duncan Robinson.
Oh, Duncan
Oh, yeah,
Robinson
he's
went
so
off.
awesome.
Oh, yeah, that guy is sick.
He was sick.
He has like
Is he a rookie?
I didn't watch too
Yeah,
much.
he's a rookie.
I didn't watch too many scrimmages, but
Just whatever you saw.
the highlights were pretty sick. And I never knew he was that wet, and his form is super awesome. And I totally want to play basketball right now.
All right. Anything,
Yeah,
Jared? Anything?
he was sick.
Yeah, that guy was sick. Holy crap. I saw highlights that Seth Curry didn't miss. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
8 for 8. And then they're putting sound effects after missed free throws, right?
I saw
Like,
that.
bruh.
And you.
Bruh.
That's so funny.
I thought it was not a joke. But it's real, I guess.
All right, Raz, what about you? Anything?
I actually think the courts and everything is like, considering everything, like they did a really good job, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I
you
know we were
can't really
talking about,
tell on TV.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. That's
Yeah,
the whole
covering
thing.
it up.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fun. Like once Thursdays hits, like I know we're excited. We're gonna have a special episode next week. Everyone, pay attention, tune in. But it's gonna be fun. Like the thing that I think was the craziest that I saw, and then I didn't even realize it was just the scrimmage lineup was the Nuggets starting lineup was Jokic at point guard, Jeremy Grant at shooting guard, Bol at 7'2" at small forward, then Millsap at the 4, then Mason Plumlee. Holy crap, that's the biggest lineup.
Yeah.
Why did they test him?
I don't know. I mean, they wanted to see how he would run, I guess, at the 3. He looked pretty good in the highlights.
No, I mean
Yeah.
drug test him. Didn't they drug test him?
They
or
drug
something?
They drug tested him
yeah.
after the game.
They drug tested after the game when he had
Immediately after.
Yeah.
He went
Why,
off.
because he was beast mode?
random test.
Yeah.
Beast mode.
Oh, I was about to say. I was like,
Dude, there was
That's
they
like when-
had some sick crate. Like he had some blocks where it looked like they were about to be goaltending, and then they did a slow mo of it. And
how tall is he?
7'2". He's a
His
small
wingspan
forward.
is insane, though.
You
Yeah.
should block hella
Dude.
people.
Yeah, but
Dude,
he's
he was bowling out.
Yeah. Hold up. Okay.
I already knew you were gonna make a joke, and you're like, dude.
And then
Oh boy.
Where's the punchline?
punchline. And then watching the Clippers play, they look pretty deep. In the second,
Really?
in the second half,
suck?
I know,
Kawhi, they were good. In the second half,
Oh,
Kawhi didn't even play, and I didn't even remember that he wasn't playing because like they had like Lou Will and all those guys, and I was like,
Reggie Jackson.
yeah, and I was like,
Broken Noah looks good.
yeah.
oh
I mean,
shit.
the Lakers look
Jackson.
good. The Lakers look good too, but the Clippers look better. Like obviously, it was just a scrimmage, but it was kind of weird.
That's kind of
Yeah,
scary.
Raiders look sick though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
we should
I
talk
love
about
the scrimmage results and who played. Who...
Well, the Wizards lost. The Wizards lost to the Nuggets, and that's very predictable.
What? No way.
If anyone's paying attention, the Wizards are probably the worst team that was invited to the bubble.
So
No,
serious.
What are you talking about, dude? Otto Porter kills it.
Can anyone here name more than that's not injured, that's in the bubble? Can you guys name more than 2 players that are on the Wizards right now?
Yes.
Anyone? Who? Okay, Raz, go first.
Thomas Bryant.
I don't know if that's a real name. We're gonna
Thomas
look it up.
Bryant.
Oh, dude, I saw Thomas Bryant.
Rui Hachimura. And Rui Hachimura.
I was gonna say Rui and Moritz Wagner because Wagner came from the Lakers.
Well, I guess these guys are like the biggest Wizards fans on earth because I
just because I'm better than you in fantasy. So.
I'm sorry that I don't love the Wizards. So
Wasn't Thomas Bryant on the Lakers?
Yeah, that's why I know him.
He was, yeah.
that sounds
Yeah.
more like a Laker name than
And Mo Wagner too.
Mo
Yeah.
Wagner.
wait.
And
Here,
and Isaac Bonga.
Oh yeah.
And
Hilarious.
Well,
Lean,
yeah,
and Lean and Kugel.
Did you know that, Jay? By the way, did you know it's Lightning Kugel?
it's lining.
Really?
It's Lightning Kugel, and then I texted you guys. We all put in the car.
Can I get
Can I get a dose of Leanin' Kugel?
Can I get a Lean and Kugel and a Heineken?
Lining? How do you know that?
I heard a commercial, and they said Lightning Kugel.
What kind of
Like
commercial?
an official commercial from them.
Maybe the commercial got it wrong.
The commercial got it wrong.
That's
All
more-
right, guys. Moving on. I was kind of talking to Mikey about this a little bit before we got on the podcast, and there's a question I wanted to ask to see. Which I already know what I would answer, so I'm like super excited to tell you guys what it is going to be. But the question is, would you rather be the superstar on a really shitty team? But this is your whole career; like nothing will change. A superstar on a really shitty team, or a role player on an elite team, and throughout your 10-year career, you would win 5 championships as that role player. Or throughout the same 10-year career, you would make 10 all-star games. You'd be scoring champ a couple times. You'd be the superstar in like a shitty market, like say like Washington. I don't know, example, like if you played in Washington. Mikey, what about you? What would you choose?
I think personally I would be a superstar on a shitty team. And I guess like an example, I don't know, there could be multiple examples, but my favorite player, Damian Lillard, he's not on a shitty team, but I don't think he's ever going to win a championship, and he chose.
I think he can.
Build,
I mean, yeah, I think he can.
it's possible, yeah, but he chose
well-
to build it himself. So
Well,
that's
Mikey's
kind of where
choosing.
I would go.
Mikey's kind of cheating, choosing a shitty team example.
I
Wow,
guess.
I don't think
Blazers.
Damian Lillard
He's
will win
a,
a
he's a
championship.
superstar.
I would be Damian
He's a
Lillard on the
superstar.
Blazers if I have to choose.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't specify, dude. What's a role
Yeah, give
player?
an example.
Is a role player like
I'm
is a role
right.
player Robert Ory or Jared Dudley? Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too.
Right?
Robert Ory.
Yeah, see?
Robert Ory.
Oh
Robert
yeah,
Ory.
now we know. Oh, I didn't know, dude.
Okay,
I
who'd you
didn't
choose?
know,
Who'd you
dude.
choose? Robert Ory role player. Who'd you choose?
Superstar. Who's a superstar
Oh,
though?
Cecil didn't change.
Would you rather be Jared Dudley or Robert Ory?
Sorry, Jared Dudley, but I'm choosing.
Yeah.
Would you rather be Jared Dudley or
Jared
Zobo?
Dudley.
Jared Dudley for sure.
I'd rather be Jared Dudley.
Over Zoe? Are you kidding me? Jared Dudley, 100.
I would choose Jared Dudley.
Zoe says it too.
I'd
All right,
be John, man.
John, what about you? What would you choose? Star or the role player?
I'd be a superstar.
All right.
The
so
example that comes to my mind is like T-Mac versus like Derek Fisher, and I'd probably be T-Mac.
How would you
Jared Fisher's on the shitty team.
T-Mac, dude? Not like T-Mac. T-Mac's not on the shitty team.
Raz doesn't know the scenario.
Sorry, guys.
Nobody heard. I was hoping nobody heard what I said.
Yeah, Raz is
What do you say? What do you say?
Derek Fisher.
What do you say, Sean?
But
I
the reason
meant
why
to say T-Mac wasn't on a shitty team.
He
Oh.
wasn't.
T-Mac was on pretty shitty teams.
No, he wasn't. He made the playoffs so many times.
Yeah, I'm talking about like a superstar that you're never going to make the playoffs.
He's
ever.
like,
Here's
I'm talking
a
about
good
Mark
example,
Hill
though.
on the Wizards.
Like,
So here's a good
like-
example of that.
Okay, so I would think fucking.
Booker.
I would still rather be Devin
Yeah.
Booker.
I would be the superstar. The reason being is because
Over Robert
you
Horry.
get, like you get all the money.
Yeah.
I would be Devin
Like,
Booker
you get
over
all-
Sean
you'll get-
Livingston any
You
day.
get all the money.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know who's a
over,
good example?
over Robert Horry's whole career. That guy has like what, like 9 rings or some shit.
Yeah,
like
but
that?
he's big shot Rob. It's
yeah, but he's
different.
a role player. But if you
Or
had,
Derek
Super
Fisher.
role player.
Derek
No, but-
Fisher.
oh yeah, okay, but Big Shot Bob's
Or
cool.
Derek Fisher, yeah.
Big Shot Bob's better than him, but in terms of like role player, like that's like the height of like. Can we agree? Robert Horry's kind of like the height of that with all the championships and like
Derek Fisher and Robert Horry is literally the peak of the role player.
Yeah, okay. So your
He's
role
literally the Michael Jordan of role players.
your role player would be Robert Horry. Like you would hit buzzer beaters at a game 7 in like the playoffs or a game 6 or whatever. That would be that when I say role player on an elite team, that's the type of role player, not just like.
You mean like Draymond?
Oh, Draymond is gonna get pissed.
Draymond's gonna get
Jared, does that change your answer at all, or are you gonna still say Devin
No,
Booker?
I'm 100% superstar.
All right,
Shades.
what about Raz?
I think a good example, a better example of the superstar is Mitch Richmond, because I don't know if you guys remember him, but he made so many All-Star games in a row, but he was on the Kings and they sucked at it. They really were like really bad.
He was wet as shit.
He would make the All-Star team every year. So I think that would be a good example. But yeah, it would definitely be the superstar. Like it's not even a question, I think.
Yeah.
You know? Because
What about you?
I don't know much about Mitch Richmond.
He
But
played.
yeah,
he was on Lakers for a little bit.
Mitch White?
yeah, I know
Mitch
he.
White.
I guess I'm playing devil's advocate here, and I would probably choose the like elite role player if
Why?
just so like if I end up on like NBA on TNT, then I could
You're
be like,
respectable and stuff.
I could be like Kenny, and I could be like, check it out, Chuck, look at all my rings, bitch.
Kenny is great.
But then everyone would be like talking shit like, yo, Ricky
No, I'm
rings
just
mean
kidding. I'm just
nothing.
kidding. I would choose the superstar for sure because of all the money and all the endorsements, and I get my own shit.
Yeah,
that I can-
exactly.
Oh, I thought you were serious.
And it's generational wealth.
I was just curious if any one of my best friends were like unselfish and wanted
Hell no.
to win.
Oh, you fucking
I'm a
serious.
role player. I'm a role player in real life, so why would I not fucking change life?
Yeah, I agree. Me too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Here- here's a-
I'm a superstar in real life also, so
Wait, what?
Show the video of Raz airballing the free throw right now.
No, I guess we're all. Another question I had for you guys. This is a pretty good one, but if you could reverse one injury in NBA history, what injury and for what player would that be?
Mikey's ACL.
I'll give you a second to think about it, and by saying that, I'm gonna let Raz go first.
So which injury?
Which
Would
injury for what player would you reverse in NBA history? You could choose
I
whatever.
think 4 of us will agree on the
And
same
I
one.
have to.
No, there's a lot, and I know where Jared's gonna go, but I have another one.
I know where Jared's gonna go to probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
skip me.
it's
And
one of.
it
no,
doesn't have to be
I'll tell you. the
anyone,
two
but
that
anyone.
comes to mind.
Oh, sorry.
I'll tell you the two that comes to mind. It's KD's because that's just so fresh at the moment because they would have won the championship last year. And then I honestly just the two that come to mind. And then the other one is Kawhi Leonard's when against the Warriors. Yeah, the first game when they were winning by like 20 or something.
We're up by like 24. Then he got
He might
hurt.
have- Yeah, it might have changed. It might have changed the whole. The
But
Warriors.
you would
night.
reverse. You would want to reverse that.
That means the Spurs won.
That's the only two I
That's
can
the
think
question,
of.
right, Zoe?
Out of all
That's-
injuries,
I don't.
You would.
That's
You
the
would
first
want
one I
to
can think of
personally.
right now. I don't know. I have to hear you guys first. This is probably not good for me to be first.
What about Kenny Hardaway?
All right, we're
Yeah.
gonna go in order. We're gonna go with Jer. Jer next. I know you're.
Mine's Kobe for obvious reasons.
Yep. So I figured. All right.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say if it wasn't everyone but Kobe's, who else?
If it wasn't Kobe, sure.
Jer,
Yeah.
just explain
Yeah,
why.
I'll make so I can watch him play more.
That's sick.
Explain Kobe's. Why Kobe? Just real
Well,
quick.
Kobe's. Well, obviously, we're all deeply connected with him, and I fucking cried at that shit, and that changed his whole career. So that's
all our
why.
lives.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the entire.
Which
Yeah,
one though?
it was. It was
Which one though? Which injury? Because he had two. Remember?
his Achilles.
Achilles.
Achilles straight up, like versus the Warriors, like that.
He had like 7
he
injuries,
fell-
but the Achilles is the one that did it.
Yeah, because that season he was working so hard. That's why, like, he was working
Oh, you're
like
talking about the shoulder.
overtime.
Do
Yeah,
you think if he didn't get injured, his career would be longer or shorter?
that's a good question.
Wait,
I feel like he
right?
probably
why
would have
wouldn't it not
retired.
be longer?
I feel like
Because-
the
because I
injury
feel like-
was gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, I feel
Because
like that year was
over
like he
journey.
actually rested for a little bit. His other parts, you know what I mean? And allowed him to play like 3 more years. Or whatever it was, 3 more years, two more years.
Yeah.
But he was going so hard, you know? Like they're gonna go
Yeah.
so hard to give you the 7th, 8th seed again. He might have retired faster.
Yeah, I know that's true actually. That's crazy. But I
All
still
right,
would reverse it because I couldn't see them in that pain,
Yeah.
in us in pain.
Sean, what about you? What injury in NBA history would you reverse, and why?
Probably D Rose in 2011.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Good one.
That's
A
exactly
really
yeah.
good one. Why?
And why?
Tell us why.
Just because that was the one team to take down
Oh,
LeBron.
Dude,
he
that
was
was
he was gonna
Rookie
do
of
it.
the year MVP.
Yeah, that was his year, and they had all the momentum. The whole world was behind that team. It was like the perfect story, and then like it just happened out of nowhere. And then one just random one, it would be actually I'll let Mikey go because I don't want to take any more answers. But it would be my other than Kobe, other than Kobe, it would be D Rose because that was way too
That's a
crazy.
good one.
I agree. I fucking agree
Changed his whole
100%.
career. That changed his whole
Do you
career.
think he's still a Hall of Famer?
That changed the NBA, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
Do you think he's a Hall of Famer still?
No,
I think so.
No, still
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
Really?
right
Derrick
now.
Rose? Not
If
right
Grant
now.
Hill's a Hall of Famer, Derrick Rose is a Hall of Famer.
That sucks.
Dude, that's tough because Derrick Rose he had that MVP year, he was killing it, and he has this like recent comeback, but he's had years in between where he has been inactive or kind
Yeah.
of just like a footnote.
He went through a rough patch.
Remember he just
Yeah.
didn't show up? Remember he just disappeared for a little bit
Yeah.
in New York?
So I mean, I know a lot of those things are not his fault, but those also will like go in.
Are there any MVPs who did not make the Hall of Fame? I
I'm
feel
pretty
like
sure he's gonna make the
the
Hall of Fame, dude.
I think we're seeing the Hall of Fame like we're raising it to a high like too high of a standard. Like it's D Rose is the youngest MVP ever in NBA history. Like that's in itself will make him a lock in Hall of Fame.
Okay, here I just looked up
I think
statistics,
he's gonna
and,
be
Yeah.
then look, so no NBA.
Is Chris Webber still not in the Hall of Fame?
who?
I'm not
Webber.
sure.
Chris Webber?
I think he is. Is he
That
not?
was a big thing before.
No, he's for sure.
Here's a statistic from SirCharlesInCharge.com. No NBA MVP has ever had as mediocre of a career outside of that one MVP season as Derrick Rose has had.
Right.
I mean,
That's very
Dude,
specific.
he's totally gonna be in the Hall of Fame. There's no way.
Chris
I
Webber is not in the Hall of Fame. You're right, Mikey.
Oh.
By the way.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
see,
because he
that's- I
called
think-
timeout like you, Rez.
What the?
He should make the Hall of Fame because of that.
Seriously, that's like such a huge story. He might as well just be in Hall of Fame because of it. It's such like a
I don't know. So I kind of
I
agree.
think
Like
they're
right
both-
now, like if D Rose completely just like retired, I don't think he'd be in the Hall of Fame. But I think he will. I agree with all of them. He will be in the Hall of Fame. Like when he does retire eventually, they're gonna make it a big deal because I feel like like his going away. D Rose has such a huge impact on NBA. But right now, I agree with you because he did have a lot of inactive years.
Yeah, because that's a big part of it too. I mean, like him winning the MVP, no one will ever take that away from him, and he will always be in the consideration. Like for whenever he's eligible for the Hall of Fame. But I don't think, like right now. But
Yeah,
that's a
think
good one.
Dwight Howard-
sucks.
Do you think Dwight Howard should be in the Hall of Fame?
yes,
Oof, I think he should though. Fudge.
yes.
I think Dwight, 3-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he's for sure in the Hall of Fame. There's like no question.
I think that alone will lock it up. How many? Like that's hard to win Defensive Player of the Year one time.
How often do they put people in the Hall of Fame?
Every year.
Every year they announce it because I only hear like the big
nominated.
names that I know.
When
Like-
you retire,
It's a small induction class.
after 5 years, you're eligible.
I feel like the last
Yeah,
one I heard was
that's-
like Kobe, KG, and Timmy.
Yeah, that was
That's
literally the
it.
last class. That was
Well, that was the last one. Oh, okay.
Well, that was literally the.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like,
That's why everyone was like, "Damn, we're not going to be able to hear Kobe's Hall of Fame."
Yeah, that was in February. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I ask a
fuck, that was
question
this
after
year.
this question?
Wait, what? Hold on, Mikey. Let Mikey go first.
Okay.
Fish.
I get there's kind of a lot. I mean, I definitely agree with D Rose because fucking whole ACL knee thing hits the home. But there's also like fucking Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway. But I think also for me is Brandon Roy, another
oh
Blazer.
shit,
Oh,
But
B-Roy.
it's
yeah.
like I also thought about Greg Oden.
Greg
I was
Oden.
gonna say nobody said Greg Oden.
It was too
but
early.
I mean, I just think Brandon
Yeah.
Roy has got like glass knees and like he was doing well. He had the superstar potential.
What was
Like,
his? What was the thing that he had? That was it was like he didn't have any like tendons left in his joints.
Yeah. It was
Was
straight up like bone on
Jesus.
bone.
Yeah, where his bones
Like
were-
yeah.
That's why he had to retire.
Sucks.
So he did it just to like he played as much as he
That
could.
Blazers team was so good too with Brandon Roy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aldridge.
I
still
remember, I
remember
drafted
the
him in
starting
fantasy.
With Brandon
What?
Roy.
Yeah, the starting five.
Marcus
With Brandon.
Camby. Andre Miller.
Odin.
Yeah, it was Andre
Marcus
Miller, Brandon Roy, Nick Batum,
Yeah.
Lamarcus Aldridge, and Marcus
Oh
Camby.
my god.
Yeah.
Oh, and Camby.
That's
Marcus
That's on
Camby.
defense. That's a sick defensive.
well. If Lamarcus Aldridge knew how to play defense, yeah, their interior would be like pretty unstoppable. But
Lamarcus,
He always picks him.
Lamarcus is making the Hall of Fame too. If we're going to talk about him,
okay,
I think he is.
I'm not sure.
Lamarcus Aldridge.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
Lamarcus Aldridge. Tell me any credentials that Lamarcus Aldridge has that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Chris Webber should make it over him.
Chris Webber for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
The fact that Chris
Aldridge-
Webber's not in it, that's
Aldridge,
crazy.
he's super crazy, dude.
Here, I'll tell you his
I just
statistics.
fucking hate him because he never got fucking 10 and 10 whenever I got him in fantasy.
Yeah, because when Lamarcus Aldridge is right next to the basket and he
He
could
gets
dunk
6
it
rebounds.
Fade away.
from the
Sorry,
baseline.
Mikey, sorry, Mikey. Continue with what you're saying.
I think that was just it. Like Brandon Roy was a superstar. He led Washington. Like he still had knee problems in college, but he went on to play. He played like in the Kobe era, and he killed it against like teams like that.
He was.
So
a
that's kind of
problem.
why. That's kind of why like I respect him a lot too, is because he played with Kobe and in like a different, where basketball was different from today, where it wasn't all 3-pointers. He had like a face-up game. He had a fadeaway. He could drive, attack the rim, make free throws,
Hit
make
forward,
threes,
man.
clutch
clutch.
threes. Like, yeah, like
Yeah,
he was so clutch. So that's why I'm like, he could have done a lot. So,
How many
I
years
mean,
did he play in the NBA?
I don't know.
Not enough, man.
Less
I'm
than
gonna
10.
I thought he only played on the freaking.
It's
Well, I
like
didn't know.
6 years.
I only
think it
knew
was
him
6
on the
years.
Blazers.
Yeah.
He did
I'm
only
gonna,
play for the Blazers.
I'm gonna,
No,
I'm
I
gonna
only
sneak
knew
mine
him
in.
on the Blazers. I didn't know he was-
And Jared kind of mentioned it already. God damn it, Jared. But Yao Ming, I think, is my for sure number one, just because like what he did to like he like helped. I mean, the NBA and basketball was always like a global sport, but I never really knew the reach until like Yao Ming was there, and then there was more coverage in China and in Asia.
And
Showed more footage. And I think he was really good when he was fully healthy. Like he had a soft touch. He was a good free throw shooter. He had a fadeaway. First of all, you're not going to block a guy that's 7'6" anyway. But I think if he like never had that foot injury, even if
7'6".
you take away T-Mac, you can build a team around Yao Ming like anywhere he goes. You know what I mean? Like because
Yeah.
he can shoot mid range. He can
best
play-
over
in the league.
over 80% from the free throw line. Like what
Yeah,
the heck? That guy is so wet.
Dude, he never
made
averaged more
he
than
made
10
Hall of
rebounds.
Fame.
He never averaged more than 10 rebounds.
Yeah,
What?
but like
Really?
Yeah, I think the most it was like 9. I was like, okay, like
I had him in fantasy one time, and it was pretty
on the
sick.
top of the backboard. Like
He's too slow.
yeah,
Huh?
I think I just think he would be like I mean, even when he got older, I feel like I don't know. He was so like nice too. Like in all the commercials that he had, like yo. Like I was like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. Dang.
dude, he was a target. Like people wanted to like
bang out on him.
him, yeah, like wanted to block him.
Yeah.
He was a target every game. Like
Yeah.
to
Kobe
get
dunked on him.
Yeah, Kobe dunked on him.
Nate Robinson like blocked
Yeah.
him, and that was like his
Oh,
biggest.
yeah.
I'm like, dude, that sucks. Like,
I
And
mean,
then
he's 7'6".
He's
He's a unicorn.
but yeah, it was pretty good.
All right, Raz, did you have a question?
Yeah.
You said you're. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys. So I heard this on Colin Cowherd today, and he thinks that if Kawhi Leonard wins the championship this year, that because he's in he's going to win championship on 3 different teams, that he's
He's better than
top 5
Kobe?
of all time. No, he's
Oh.
top 5 of all time. So here's
Colin
part
Howard's
of my
kind of
question.
crazy.
So here's my question. It's 2 parts. One, do you think he's at least top 10 all time if he wins the championship this year with the Clippers for his 3rd team? And number 2, if he wins a championship, is he higher than KD?
I
One-
think he's already higher than KD.
Higher than KD.
You think he's already higher than KD?
Yes. Yeah.
He doesn't have an MVP.
100%.
He has
He doesn't
defensive
have
player.
an
Of the year.
MVP.
He has defensive player of the year.
Didn't
Yeah, but he
he
doesn't.
win fucking MVP on the finals game? Final.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, he
regular
won NBA
season
Finals
MVP.
MVP twice.
He'll never win an MVP. He's I think he's like 300th ever in scoring, and his stats, like like LeBron, he's going to overwhelm you with stats like Will Chamberlain. Kawhi Leonard will
Let
not
me-
do that.
Let me start-
He's
let me
like. Sorry, Zal. Go on.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, like, just watching the Toronto season, like by itself, like
Mhm.
we all watched him carry Toronto, and we were all in awe of what he did over the Sixers, the buzzer beater. I think, like Jared was saying, he's already better than KD. 2 championships, 2 different teams, NBA Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know. I think he's
Mhm.
already better than. Maybe we just think KD's a snake, but that's sort of. That's,
Is he top 10 though?
He has to
And
do
by the
think
way,
he's
I'm not
I think if he
And by the
wins
way, I'm
another
not-
championship, top 10.
what? Say it
really.
again, Raz. What did you just say? By the way, what?
By the way, I also think if Kawhi Leonard wins, he's better than KD. I don't think he's better yet overall because KD has a MVP.
Win a ring this year, it's gonna boost him way,
Yeah.
He's gonna be way past
yeah,
KD.
way up.
He's gonna be way
Okay,
past
but
hold
KD.
on. Why don't you think he's better than KD? I'm very curious. Like talent-wise, if they played 1-on-1, KD would destroy him. I agree. But
Yeah.
career-wise, Kawhi has proven so much more. It's not because KD's a snake, but that's part of it that he went to Warriors to win his
Part of
rings.
it is like, wow.
Yeah.
Huge thing, Jared.
Well, I think
But
he has
what has he proved?
So I think he has an MVP. He went to the finals how many times? 4 times now, right?
But Kawhi
and
gets results. Okay.
Yeah, but Kawhi also lost in the finals when he was young.
But he also went to Toronto.
He went to Toronto for 1 year, dude.
Yeah.
And he's already the greatest
I
Toronto
could-
rapper of all
so-
time.
but
George
like
Lamar.
if you look at all their stats, like I know like we're gonna talk about stats, but KD's stats overall is just so overwhelming that
You're gonna talk
He's
about LeBron
better
versus
than
Kobe because
Kawhi.
LeBron's stats is better than Kobe too.
LeBron's
but
stats are better
Kobe's
than
stats are but Kobe's stats are comparable with LeBron's. Like you can compare them, but Kawhi's because he doesn't play like half the games. His stats are like really, really low. Like Marvin Williams has more points than him overall.
I think if KD went to
You know what I mean?
Toronto last year,
not winning it.
they wouldn't win.
I agree with you.
Dude, I just remember watching like that playoff run of that Toronto team, and I remember like I thought Kawhi was good and he was really good, but I never really bought into the hype until I watched like the first and second round of the playoffs with Toronto, and I was like, holy crap, this guy is actually like I never thought he was like the greatest scorer, but he was scoring at will.
Unstoppable, dude. He was unstoppable.
Yeah,
Backing down, turn around, fade away over people.
He mastered,
Hitting threes.
he mastered the mid range, which I feel like a lot of
He's
the
like
current
Kobe.
current NBA underrates. And
Yeah.
like Harden, like when it comes down to the line, Harden will do a crazy step back, like 3 fadeaway. But Kawhi will like chip at you slowly with these crazy like drive-in, stop on one
Clutch.
foot,
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
stop on
Where
one
he
foot,
literally stops.
right at the basket, like and just get a 2 points right there. But like Harden, and all the other Lillard, all the other like
KD does the same thing.
Okay, yeah, but KD doesn't.
Katie is
Oh,
KD's a
KD's
pure
fine.
dude. KD is a pure scorer. I'm not gonna take away that he's fucking amazing talent wise, but like everything, it's not even comparable. And I'm very like.
So you
it's
think
not
you think
comparable.
Kawhi is better than him than already? You think Kawhi is ranked
Kawhi
higher
is better than
KD?
KD
Kawhi can
No,
lock
like
up.
ranked higher than him already.
overall.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's not-
I think so.
I think it's not
Like
even
crazy.
Do you think
It's
Kawhi
crazy
is
that Zoe brought this up because when he was watching, I mean, I kind of thought that too because I remember when Kawhi first won Finals MVP when he was with Duncan, Manu,
Yeah, I thought it was one of those
Tony Parker.
Iguodala ones.
I don't know how young we were, but I was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, I remember they pulled up his stats and his defense was insane. I think it was like 15 and 10 and like 2 steals and like 1.5 blocks. I was like, damn, he's pretty well rounded. So
Was
they
he
gave him the Finals
sophomore?
MVP because whatever. But then when he went to Toronto, I was kind of just like, all right, I don't know if he can make it. Even when like
Everyone was like that.
I thought
even when Kawhi was by himself on Spurs, I was kind of just like, I don't know if he can carry a team by himself. And then he just fucking did it.
Yeah.
And then he went to Toronto, and that switch literally just with DeRozan, he literally took it and he won. That speaks volumes.
I think
Hey,
go ahead, Mikey.
there's a fun fact. I just looked at Kawhi Leonard named Finals MVP at 22 years old, which is the youngest Finals MVP since teammate Tim Duncan in '99. That's pretty sick.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's
that's
so
crazy.
sick.
Pretty sick.
That's awesome.
And just the fact that he is the greatest Toronto Raptor alive. He played one season, not even a full season.
And
Not
then he
even a
left.
full season, dude. And he was like, he won a championship and they were poised to repeat in the East. And he was like, no, I don't want to stay here. And he's going to the Clippers and they're in position to win another championship.
No, I put Lowry over him as greatest rapper.
I would put Vince Carter.
Insanity, yeah, insanity.
Are you guys serious? Kawhi Leonard's the best Toronto Raptor of all time.
No way, Lowry.
No,
He got them their first championship. What the
Lowry has the longevity and the rings.
I get that, dude, but he won them a championship.
I say Chris
That's
Bosh.
true. But,
But Lowry, like you act like Lowry was right there with Kawhi though, and he showed up in Game
Dude,
7 or Game 6.
Kawhi's the greatest Toronto Raptor of all time.
Well,
Okay, do you think he's top 10?
like Kawhi wouldn't have won without Lowry, and Lowry. has
Kyle
the
Lowry
same-
wouldn't have gone to the playoffs without Kawhi.
Yeah, what the hell? Kyle
Yeah.
Lowry would, exactly. He would not have even gone to the
It's the
playoffs.
same way with the other. If you,
No,
if you
wait. They would have made the playoffs without Kyle Lowry.
no way.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
they would have made the playoffs without.
they would have
Lowry.
put Van Fleet and
Fleet?
Norman Powell. Norman Powell and Van Fleet would have picked up. Dude, those guys are sick. Norman
I
Powell.
don't know about
I think-
Norman Powell. You know,
Kyle
he's in UCLA.
What?
Red
Kyle
Van-
Lowry
Van
was
Fleet,
kind of
I still
Kyle
think
Lowry
Lowry's the
had-
best Raptor of all time.
Lowry.
I
had
think
a-
Vince
he had
Carter
a
is over
streak.
Lowry though.
Lowry had a streak where in the playoffs he kind of fell off, and then when they won the finals, that's when he went off.
Yeah.
Like that proved that he was good, but I still think
He had a good
Kawhi
NBA.
has
You're right.
more. Kawhi
But-
has more.
First, yeah. Like,
All right.
You're just thinking because Lowry's
That's
been
for
there,
Lowry.
he has like the highest. Yeah,
Yeah.
he has the highest
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
points,
like the
field goals.
oldest Raptor
I
of all
think
time.
when it comes down to
Yeah.
it, Raptor fans,
Loyalty was,
Toronto fans will choose Lowry over Kawhi.
Yeah,
I think they'll choose him like as a
They'll
fan
choose, they'll choose
Even,
Vince Carter.
even before
before even before
Brandon Roy.
I'm a Toronto Raptor fan even before
Cheers, cheers.
Do you
we
agree
getting
with
a
me?
new one?
Before Kawhi left, Toronto fans will choose Lowry over Kawhi.
No, dude.
Are you serious?
Did you see what Toronto was trying to do to keep Kawhi out there? They were like, remember they were like, oh, you can eat for free at our restaurants, dude. They never, like, if Kyle Lowry left, dude, no one would ever have been
That's
like,
a marketing thing,
yeah,
though. I agree with
oh,
Sean.
really did that though.
Vince Carter and Kyle Lowry are fan favorites.
Yeah.
They're obviously gonna have more jerseys than Lowry.
I think
Than Kawhi.
you ask if we, I think like, dude, if Kawhi brought them an NBA, the one and only they'll probably ever. He brought that to them.
Lowry was there though. Like you act like
He's
it
not-
was just Kawhi.
Yes.
Without Lowry,
He was
they-
there, but he wasn't the main reason they won that championship, dude. Kawhi Leonard.
I think that
Everyone
makes
agree
the
here.
best Raptor of
There's
all
two different arguments going on. I think.
Like, if your
I
city,
think you guys are arguing about
That
different
city-
things and don't know it.
that city is a championship city now because of
I
one.
don't know it.
Yeah.
I know it. I'm gonna go over to Sean's place and beat him up.
dude.
No, because like I agree with both sides. I'm with Mikey. I agree with both sides. I'm like, I think
Come here.
it's,
I agree, you guys
it's really
are right.
like
I agree
subjective
with
because it's like
So-
what do you define the greatest Raptor of all time, right? Like I agree with Sean where I think Raptor fans like overall, they would probably choose Lowry just because he's been there forever. He's been like, oh yeah,
I'll fight you too, Jer.
But I think Kawhi is still the best. I think he's the greatest Raptor of all time because he brought them the championship, which will probably never happen again in our lifetime.
All right, we're back.
Yeah.
But then they would choose Lowry, but I think Kawhi is the best. So it's kind of
Okay.
like,
Next topic.
I lived in
Yeah, next
Toronto.
topic.
Let's just
Next
agree.
topic.
Let's just agree to agree.
let's just go back to KD and why Raz thinks that
Why-
KD is
Oh,
the
yeah, we're
best.
not done with that one yet.
Dude, I can.
Let's
I will
answer your second
pull up all
question.
the stats, and it's just the stats thing. Like,
I
you
think
can
he will
argue
be
that
top
Will
10.
Chamberlain-
Wait, we didn't
Okay.
hear
Oh,
Mikey and Sean's
Yeah,
answers
okay, go
on this. Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah,
And
so
then Mike.
when you rank top 10 NBA players, you rank them not on their stats, but on their career accomplishments.
And what they bring, yeah.
And so when you
Fair.
rank Kawhi versus KD, even though KD has those rings, I would say a majority of NBA just fans or NBA people involved with the NBA will rate Kawhi's rings a lot higher than what KD's are, which is what shoots Kawhi over KD, despite KD's stats. If you look at all of top 10, it's not about stats at the end of the day. So that I think that's why overall, like when you look at KD and Kawhi, like a casual fan of the NBA will be like, dude, Kawhi for sure, because pretty much of the story, the narrative behind of how they
it's the narrative.
It's the narrative. Yeah. And also, like, KD's
so
not.
like the stats can only bring you so far. Like it's not going to push you to the top 10, which at the same time kind of sucks because there are a lot of great players who haven't won rings and they're not even acknowledged.
Like,
That's my take.
Like, KD's not the
that's a
greatest
good point.
Raptor of all time. So, Mikey, your turn.
Do you think Westbrook's
yeah,
ever gonna win? Oh.
He better. He's sick.
Yeah, I hope so.
You think
It's
he's
kind of
gonna-
hard.
Let Mikey go. Mikey's turn.
It's kind of hard just because like Kawhi is so great, but he does it like he's a quiet dude. So like everything he does is kind of under the radar, even though his stats are crazy. Like he does everything, but it's kind of under the radar. Whereas like KD, you know he's a superstar because you know what he brings. He's fucking like 7 foot. He can dribble. He can shoot. He is a superstar. Kawhi kind of does it all, but quietly.
Right.
I think KD has more talent, and like it's harder. It's a hard skill set to find. So in top 10, like it's kind of hard because it depends on who else is in your who are the other top 9. You know, there's so many great players. It's kind of hard to pick. I do think Kawhi is higher than KD right now, but I don't know.
When you say KD has more talent, why do you say that? Because I think after last year, Kawhi has proven that he has enough talent.
I think it's just
more than
it's
KD.
just because it's probably because of
His scoring?
the position, and like the fact that this guy is 7 foot and doing all this. There's not really a lot of 7-footers who can score. He can play point. He's like another Magic Johnson with better shooting.
I agree.
And Magic Johnson was fucking amazing.
Wait,
So
who
it's kind of like
can play point?
yes. KD,
Well-
that's why I think he's more like he has more talent in a sense, and that's where it goes back to top 10, like position wise. It's like you kind of look for like point guard. I would probably choose Magic, but then that's like another one. He's like a big point guard. I don't know. It can go back and forth, but I
Here's the
think
thing.
championship wise, yeah, Kawhi's mean more.
Here's the thing. Okay, so LeBron, Kobe, MJ, right? They're like, everybody knows, like, they're probably like top 3, unless you're like Kenny. But you know, but like, what do they all have in common, right? They not only can score at will, like all 3 of those guys, but they can also defend the best player on any team on any given night. And I think like why I should have brought this up earlier is like another reason I chose Kawhi over KD is because when you think of Kawhi, you know that he can score and do all these things, hit the threes, but you know also when it comes down to the other side of the floor, he will defend the best player on the other team at the same time while getting those numbers. While KD, when you think about him and his greatness, like, yeah, he's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time, but he's because of his skill on the ball offensively for the most part is why. I mean, he's getting better at defense, but I think everyone will note that his offense is what is going to make him one of the greatest of all time.
He just doesn't have the same mentality.
I have a question. So in fantasy, would you pick KD or Kawhi?
KD all day.
Kate, I would choose Kawhi. I would choose Kawhi.
What?
Are
Are
you
you,
getting
kidding me?
deals
What
and
the hell?
props?
Games? Are you crazy?
are you crazy?
That's why I'm like.
wait,
That's,
you're right. I would choose KD. I would choose KD.
Every
that's why I
other
pick
game.
KD. That's why
I
I
take
think
it back. We're
KD 's
not playing
better.
I haven't played fantasy in a while, so I forgot the rules, and I forgot if you don't play, it doesn't count. So
That's
I'm
why I
playing.
think KD is better. I think KD is
is
better.
top 2 like all-time fantasy player right now, dude.
Let me tell you guys what ESPN ranked the top 10 players, okay? And then you guys can tell me if they're
No,
all.
dude,
Fuck
ESPN ranked
ESPN, man.
Kobe
ready?
like 81
Number
times.
10, Shaq.
Yeah.
9, Kobe.
10 is who? 10 is who? Sorry.
Shaq.
10 is Shaq. 9 is Kobe. And then 8 is Tim Duncan. 7, Larry Bird. 6, Will Chamberlain. 5, Magic Johnson. 4, Bill Russell. 3, Kareem. 2, LeBron. And 1, MJ.
Well.
So is Kawhi better than any of those guys?
I think Kawhi's better than Shaq.
What? I don't think so.
I don't know about that one, dude.
Oh,
I don't know about that
one. I don't
no.
Top 10 yet.
What the fuck?
Say it again.
Shaq,
So-
Kobe, Tim Duncan,
See, this is the thing.
Larry Bird, Kareem, MJ, LeBron.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I probably wouldn't take anyone out of there.
Bill,
I don't think
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
so I know Bill Russell has the most rings, but I don't really know much about his career, to be honest.
So
Like,
the same
was he
thing.
on the
So
Celtics the whole time?
Bill Russell has a similar.
Yeah, he was the Celtics the whole time.
he has a similar argument as Kawhi because Kawhi is gonna win all these rings. He's a winner, but he doesn't necessarily have all the stats to back him up. So Bill Russell has
Well,
the same
but
thing.
was he the reason? Was he the superstar of that team though?
Bill Russell? Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was. Okay.
How many?
Will
Wait, hold
Chamberlain
on. How many rings does Bill Russell have?
8.
11.
11.
11.
He has 11, and
I thought
Will
he had
Chamberlain.
10.
And Will
11 as a
Chamberlain has
star.
7 in a row, right?
And Will Chamberlain
Yeah,
has
Bill
2,
Russell is-
and they were
Bill Russell has
the
to be
same
there.
era.
Yeah.
So then Kawhi has the same, argument kind of as Bill Russell because he doesn't have all the stats either.
Wilt is
Who's
one
11?
exception when stats trump your.
Is there a rank 11 for ESPN? I'm curious.
Yeah, let me tell you guys. Hold on.
I'm just not. It's crazy because I agree with that 10, but it's crazy because Wilt isn't also in there. Because Wilt Chamberlain he
Wilt
changed
was
the
there,
rules of the NBA.
Wilt is in
Number
there.
6.
Oh, he's 6. Oh, okay.
I was saying
Yeah.
Wilt is an exception to when stats trump rings, but that's because he
Yeah.
averaged 50 and 20.
Didn't they change the rules because
And
of
he
it?
also played against.
They extended the key.
He
Yeah.
also played against like people who are like 6'10", except Bill Russell, who stopped him.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
Didn't
I'll
they
tell you
help
number
him on the
11.
100-point game?
If KD can average 50 and 20 next year, then I will put him over Kawhi.
20 average.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Oh, you're the
Number
best.
11,
You're the
I'll
best.
tell you guys right now. 11, Oscar Robertson. 12, Hakeem. 13, Steph Curry. 14, Kevin Durant.
Damn, Steph Curry's up there.
Yeah.
Shit.
This is
Dude,
big, yes.
the thing
Steph Curry's
with
sick as
Steph
fuck,
Curry is
right?
like he literally like if
He
we're talking
changed the
about who's
game.
changed the NBA. Steph Curry changed the NBA for like
Win a finals
ever.
Yeah.
to lock it.
Yeah, I think
He
he'll
changed
eventually
the
win it.
NBA
Though, but
and that
he
system.
changed literally how kids play basketball. Like not
Yeah.
even just the NBA. Like
How do you play
kids will
basketball?
pull up.
I totally agree with that. Him being that high.
So,
Anyone.
Damn, that's so sick. He's already there.
but
Yeah,
here,
freaking cool.
let's a good
Let's move on.
conversation, guys. We're gonna move on to our final 2 things. We're gonna do the fun facts, and we're gonna do rapid fire here. I'm gonna do 3, 2, 1. We're gonna start with Mikey. We're gonna go Sean, Jared, then Raz. You're gonna get 3 seconds to answer the question. Which NBA legend has a social media logo like created and named after him? Mikey, 3.
Oh, is this like
What?
a
What
fact?
does
Is
that
it right
mean?
or wrong
Explain.
answer?
Jerry, what?
Explain, like, what you
Okay.
mean.
All right. Which NBA legend
Wait, hold on.
has
Is this like trivia?
just like we did last week? Yeah.
Jerry, what?
Oh, I thought it was like which could have its own like NBA logo.
Which NBA legend? Here, let me. Which NBA
Exactly.
legend has a really popular social media platform Like their logo and the name of that logo is based on this NBA athlete. I did not know about this until just today. So
Is there one
that's
answer?
there's only one answer. Like
Oh
this is,
shit!
yeah.
I'm
So
thinking the logo.
okay,
Jerry
hold on.
West.
So Ray,
But
hold
I
on.
don't know
Hold
about
on.
social media.
A social. We're talking about a social media platform like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, stuff like that. Okay, MySpace. Okay, here we go. So Mikey, NBA legend that has that 3, 2, 1.
2.
The wrong. Sean, 3, 2,
What'd you
1.
say?
Olo Candy.
It's okay. Well,
Number
What did
one
Mikey
pick,
say?
baby.
Hey, what did Mikey say? What did
Mikey
Mikey say?
said Jordan. Jer, 3, 2, 1.
Steph Curry.
All right. Raz, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know, Kobe.
Okay, cool. That sounds like you tried hard. Anyways, the answer, my friends, bum bum bum, is the Twitter bird. The Twitter. Do you know what the name of the Twitter bird
Larry
is?
Bird?
Larry the Bird is the
No.
name of the Twitter bird, and I looked it up. One of the co-founders of Twitter grew up in Boston. He watched the Celtics in the middle of
Wait.
Larry Bird's prime.
That's sick.
And so the name of the Twitter bird is Larry the Bird, and he confirmed in multiple interviews, named after the great Larry legend, Larry Bird.
Oh,
So
that's
there you
crazy.
go.
Sick with it.
Nobody knew that one, huh? Pretty good, huh? So should I do another one, or should we end this and save it for next week?
Fuck
Okay,
Boston.
go
Do
ahead.
another one.
I got one more. I got one more, boys. I got one more for you. Which NBA athlete? Sean, stop looking up the answers on.
Sean's looking it up already.
I wasn't.
Faster on your computer.
Which NBA? You guys all know this guy. We all know and love this guy. Which
Kobe.
NBA athlete applied for a job at Circuit City in the middle of his rookie season in the NBA, just so he could get a discount on electronics?
Sounds
We're
like Paul Pierce.
We're gonna go backwards. We're gonna start with Raz.
I have
In
no idea.
3, 2,
Antoine
1.
Walker.
Jer, 3, 2, 1.
Paul Pierce.
Sean, 3, 2, 1.
Pau Gasol. Damn.
Why? Would you focus on-
Andre Drummond.
Pau Gasol.
Well, folks, if you want to know the answer is everyone's favorite. What used to be known as Ron Artest and Meta World.
Oh,
In
man.
1999, in the middle of the
He
Chicago
would.
season, he applied to Circuit City, and when it became public, he said because he wanted to get an employee discount on electronics. And there
It
you
would have been Andre because he's a gamer.
So funny.
go.
Okay, I got a question to end it off.
We're gonna end this with a question from Sean.
There were 2 Rookie of the Year award winners from the 1999 draft class. One was Elton Brand. Who was the other?
Repeat it.
There were 2 Rookie of the Year award winners from the 1999 draft class. One was Elton Brand. Who was the other?
Start with
Hello,
Zoe.
Gandhi.
How can I know this?
Zoe,
I
3,
know this.
2,
I said
1.
this. Okay.
Zoe, 3, 2, 1.
9,
Jared, 3, 2, 1.
7.
Elton Brand.
Anyone can answer. 6.
Raz, 3, 2,
Yeah.
1.
I don't
Give us
know.
the clue
I thought it was
stuff.
Jason Kidd and
His-
Grant Hill.
His
That was the other
initials,
call, rookie.
his initials,
I would have thought Lamar
his
Odom.
initials are
Oh,
SF.
no, I know.
SF.
Oh, no, I don't know.
10.
Sebastian,
Steve Francis. Steve Francis.
SF?
Ding, 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 Raz.
Oh,
was
that's
it?
sick.
What was it?
Sebastian Telfair.
Skip to my foo.
Oh, really?
Huh?
What did you
It
guys
was
say?
Steve Francis. It was Steve Francis. Good
Oh.
job.
That's what he said.
And your award is you get a down
All
your
right.
that you have in your hand.
All right, guys. Before we end this podcast, this episode, we're going to finish the beer we have in our hands as we do every week. Cheers, boys. Another great episode of the chat.
Subscribe,
You guys.
subscribe, and like. Hit the like button. It's right down there. Subscribe.
Well, guys,
Oh,
if you made it to our millions of viewers, if you made it this far, next week we have a very special edition of this episode. It's going to be a full hour, and we're going to do a power hour, and we're going to discuss opening night, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And so please join us, all you millions of fans. Later, guys.
Later, Gators.